Welcome to the number one friendship podcast in the country. I'm Aaron Cairo.
I'm Matt Ritter.
And guys, make sure to go to audible.com/the buddy system to check out our best-selling Audible original on friendship. And go to manoftheyearpodcast.com to grab our merch and watch our videos on YouTube. Matt, before we get into it, we record this sometimes in advance. Yesterday was a quite a dramatic day in that it was the day of the Verizon outage.
I mean, I've never experienced anything so long and so painful.
I think you'll be maybe proud of me. I was out and about. I actually had an IRL meeting, very rare these days. No Google Maps.
Wow. Where was it?
I was in.
I mean, it was in West Hollywood. Okay. Wow. I'm so proud of you.
I had to get from West Hollywood to Beverly Hills. And I did it. I literally had to make one.
I don't know that I'm going to go so far as to say I'm proud of you for getting to the neighborhood right next to yours.
And it was just straight down Santa Monica Boulevard. I didn't even have to do anything.
My God.
But I panicked.
But normally you would do that. You would put it in the GPS.
Matt, we've talked about this so many times. Not only, okay, I have a bet's insurrection, fine, but even if I'm close, it's traffic and accidents. You don't give a shit about that. You fly from the seat of your pants.
Okay, well, give you an example of a place I go fairly frequently. Home Depot. It's on my block. It's 2 miles up. Why do I care? What am I going to do? Take alternate routes if there's traffic? It's on Sunset.
Okay, I mean, if it's a straight shot, but I once drove with you to Santa Monica and you didn't put it on.
Right. I'm just saying, but you said you were going somewhere that's a straight shot down Santa Monica.
Well, but I didn't know. I eyeballed it. I guessed. I didn't really know.
I'm proud of you. Actually, I am proud of you. This is great. I want you to do it again and again and again and again. And then one day we're just going to the beach and it's just like, Cairo, the beach is west. We'll be fine.
There's another reason.
Look at the sun. Eyeball it.
There's another reason that I do it. I'm curious what you think about this. I will just forget where I'm going. Like, I'll just zone out, listen to some podcasts and more music, and I'll just drive past the stop.
Jesse this happened yesterday. We dropped Brenner off at gymnastics, and then we were going to the grocery store. And I forgot that the grocery store was on Melrose, so I drove up to Santa Monica. And she's just like, and I'm just driving along on Santa Monica. She's like, what are you doing exactly? I'm like, what do you mean? What am I doing? I'm going to the grocery store. She's like, it's on Melrose. I'm like, oh yeah. Why didn't you say anything? She's like, because I didn't even know what you're doing right now.
Yeah. I've been there a million times. B, Jess, you guys have been married for so long. Like her acquiescence to your madness, like you get to be more proactive, Jess.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's on her, isn't it? Like, why are you letting me go to Santa Monica Boulevard?
At this point, I hate to say it, at this point, it is on her. Like you can't change, and you are who you are. And
right.
And she enables you.
Right. She enabled me to go an entire boulevard north and then be completely lost. I think it's partly for her to just be like, you idiot, just to get that satisfaction.
Yeah, but you don't learn anything from it, so it's not even satisfying.
I'll never learn anything from any of it.
Can you, if you went 10 feet in the wrong direction, I'd throw a temper tantrum. All right. So we survived the great Verizon outage. No good segue. We're going to talk about this amazing article in the Atlantic that was going around like wildfire with a great title called The Friend Group Fallacy. The Friend Group Fallacy. And basically, there's sort of two to three points. I'll just run through them real quick. One, that this woman says she has a good amount of friends, but they're mostly individuals. And she feels like she's missing a friend group. B, studies have shown that actually most people don't have friend groups. She's actually more normal than she thinks, that most people do have individual friends and not a friend group. And C, how we may be talking about the word loneliness wrong. People with friends can still feel lonely because they feel like, they're missing out or they don't have a different. Yeah, I mean, that's the loneliest man I've ever met, and he's never not with somebody. So why don't we take these in whatever order you like, sir?
I like the idea of that most people don't have a big friend group or a healthy friend group. Big or healthy?
No,
What
no, no.
is
It's most people don't have groups that are more than one or two.
right? They just don't have a group. Most people don't have a
Right.
friend group.
Right.
Most adults, let's just say most adults don't have a friend group. I mean, I don't know that there's a study or there's a like what would you put the
No, there
percentage
was
at?
there was a study. Just whenever you use the word adults, you always sort of like when we had our best friend episode 2 years ago. You're like adults don't like that's like your like way.
I don't like the word adult, I guess.
No, no,
It's
no.
cringe.
When you
Huh.
say adult, that's your dog whistle for like it's juvenile.
Yeah. So what was the percentage that they said that don't have?
We don't have the percentage, just that it's just more likely that you don't have a friend group.
Right. And look, it's hard to say because the definition of friend group is can be amorphous as an adult. So,
Hmm.
like we've got our Luger's crew, we've got our, LA crew. It's like, are these defined groups? They were at one point, they still are, I suppose, but you could also argue that like they're not active all the time. Like what is do they have to be active for it to be a friend group is the question.
Sorry, I found the statistic.
Yeah.
Less than 1/3 of Americans feel that they are part of a friend group.
Right. I mean, we definitely feel that we're part of a friend group for sure, multiple friend groups, which is great. Um, so I guess the question is like, what's the idea here? Is the idea of like, hey, is the truth that people are hanging out in these large friend groups all the time? Probably not. But do a lot of people have, a group that they feel like, is a thing, even if they're not seeing each other consistently? I still think a lot of people do.
I think what she's saying is that when she's out and about and she like sees at a bar, there's like seven people hanging out and laughing, and then also pop culture, every TV show, every yeah,
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying is like, even though you and I have, we do have them, and a lot of people, quote unquote, have them, you're seeing them in the rare moments they actually get together. When you see that group that's at the bar, it's because it's somebody's
yeah,
birthday once a year, and that may be the only time that group is seeing each other.
yeah. It's still an observation.
You're seeing them in their Instagram moment.
Oh, interesting. I don't know. You're kind of so you're downplaying a little bit that most people
Well, I'm
don't have
just
friend
saying,
groups.
don't get into an existential crisis because you see a group of friends having a good time together and going, why don't I have that? Because I do think that's what you feel. Well, look, anytime I see a big group now of kids who are younger, kind of like having a good time at a bar, having lunch together, brunch together, I'm just like, you guys don't know how good you have it, how hard it is just to make that happen.
Well, you and I do that all the time.
No, I know. I'm just talking about the
Oh yeah.
public at large. Like it
Oh
just
yeah, yeah.
we're good at it. Obviously, we're here. We're the guys. But it takes work and it's hard. But most people don't have that. They don't. Most people don't have the active one where it's like, oh, we're get like the Sex and the City thing.
Right, right.
Like we're getting brunch every Sunday. Most adults do not have that.
But by the way, when you said when I see a bunch of young kids, I thought you meant kids, and you're like at a bar. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I mean, like in their 20s.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I still see. To me, I'm like I'm in my 20s in my mind.
Yeah.
Like those of you watching on YouTube, my beard is pretty long now, and it's. I mean, look at this gray line. Look at this.
Wow. No, just for men, huh?
No, no, no. I mean, what did I say in one of the first podcasts? Women love salt and pepper, and you go, yeah, on Clooney.
Yeah, good. Can I tell you something fun? I won't name any names, but a couple of people I know do the Just for Men, and they go like we talked about this once. I think they go too dark.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But here's one I never heard before. A friend called me up the other day, and another friend that we know has red hair, and he insists this person is doing just the top, and they're doing it even redder. Like how some people with brown hair like and they do Just for Men, it gets like too dark at the top or
yeah,
at the bottoms. He's
yeah.
saying that his is like a little flamey at the top.
So it's redder at the top.
Yeah. He's just
That-
dyeing the tips.
well, when you say just for men, do you mean beard or hair or both?
Hair. I mean, it's both, I guess, but hair. I'm
Right.
talking about hair.
But I don't understand, and maybe I'm a simple man. Well, what happens when you get a haircut?
Well, the haircut or tools get all messy.
No, but I mean, like, if
They
I
get
dyed
all
my
inky.
hair, no, but no, I'm saying if I dye my hair and then I go to Shane our barber,
You have
and
to,
then
then you have to color it the same day.
right, well, you just have to it's too
You
much
have to
work.
recolor it every time.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyway,
That's why when
uh,
women get haircuts, you hear them go, I'm getting a cut in a color.
I mean, for the life of me, I do not understand the female grooming regimen.
It's big. They're trying
I
to
know.
get men to do it. Did you hear about looks maxing?
Well, looks maxing isn't a male thing.
It's becoming very male.
Well, looks maxing is just you're trying to like
I
look hot,
know, but
right?
like these young men are doing it heavily now. They're
what is it?
saying, like, I saw something where it was like, thank God if you're a man over 35, thank God. Like, you don't have to deal with looks maxing.
But but what's an example of a looks maxing?
I think people are doing all kinds of stuff to their faces, to their jaw lines. That, they're doing the mouth chew to get the perfect jaw alignment. Their
Oh God,
serums. They're doing the salmon sperm on their face.
did you just make that up?
Yeah, the last one.
Because
Yeah,
honestly, it could have been a thing.
yeah.
By the way, whenever I see these articles or these trends, I go, there's nobody doing this.
I know. Maybe I'm making that up because I saw one little thing on it.
Yeah. Well, we get our news from TikTok now, so it's hard to
Exactly,
understand.
exactly. My news source, my trusted Walter Cronkite on TikTok. This is Walter Cronkite signing out.
So I would say that there are first, there's nothing wrong with having a bunch of, I think the woman in the article says archipelagos, a bunch of having individual friendships. That's pretty fun too.
Yep.
Listen, I really value our friend groups. They have a lot of advantages. You can do more stuff together. Some people are not always available. If you've got a singular friend, they're not around, then you got nothing. I think, we've talked many times, like, when you go out with one buddy, you're really with that buddy. And when you run out of things to talk about, there's nothing else to do.
Obviously, there's a value in diverse, groups of friends, different certain multiple circles of loose friends. Obviously having one tight friend crew is awesome, and if
Yeah.
you can achieve that, and it could be two people, the three of you together, that's a big win. Uh, if you don't have it, can you still have a healthy social life? Yes.
Can we take a listener question? Because it's actually a couple related things. It's a Matt
Okay.
special.
All right. Let's jump in early.
We'll be right back with a listener question. Okay, guys, this is asking for a friend. If you have a friendship question or ethical dilemma, send it to us on Instagram. Send it to us on Instagram. Our handle is Man of the Year Podcast, and we will answer it on the show. Okay. Dear Matt and Cairo, this is from a woman. I'm happily married and not, quote, lonely in the classic sense, but I feel this ache that me and my husband don't have a real friend group or community. My husband says our two close couple friends are plenty, but I'm jealous of people who do big Sunday dinners and group trips and have a built-in, quote, crew. To your point, Matt, am I chasing social media friendship aesthetics, or is it reasonable to want people to call my gang?
It could be both. You are, but it is also great to have it, because I have this kind of parent friend crew, and it's just easier for planning, and kind of like what we were talking about before. It's kind of open. It's like, oh, show up or don't show up, but at least somebody's coming usually.
Mhm.
And look, there is a sense of belonging. I think there's an identity thing that having a group gives you a sense of like security, and I don't know, there's definitely something nice about it. But I don't think that most friends and most groups operate that way necessarily as an adult. I think it's okay to want that, and it's okay to try to go after that, but don't beat yourself up if you don't have it. And I think to reframe it, I think really what we want you to have is to have, again, holistic social fitness, which means more like almost like a portfolio of the right, collection of people. And so sometimes that's, hey, we have this group of two other couples and we've got this locked in crew. But sometimes it's like, oh, I've got my walk friend, and I've got my friend I can talk on the phone with, and we have one couple friend to go out to dinner with, and that's great.
You know what we should call a portfolio of friends?
Brofolio.
Portfolio.
Ah, I almost had it. So close. So close. So close.
What's interesting to me, and I know, and we've talked about this a lot, it's been very edifying for me, is that like I still think it's interesting that married people can be lonely, right? It's like you're literally living with your life partner. And we don't know if they have kids or not. And I know it's true. It's just funny. It's interesting
Yeah,
to me.
but again, like Dr. Murphy talked about the levels of loneliness, right? There's like that emotional loneliness that your partner can potentially solve, but then there's other like existential loneliness of feeling like you don't belong to anything. I forget what the other one was, but like, when we talked about with friendship snacks, like, hey, you need your, we came up with these levels, right? You need your close friends, that's your like main sustenance. You need your acquaintances, you need all these things. So I don't agree. Look, obviously, because I have a very healthy, marriage and partner, and but she doesn't like sports at all. So,
Mm.
if I just want somebody to watch a game with, I'm, you know, out of luck there. Uh, she doesn't work in, Hollywood. She doesn't really want to, hear me talk about this stuff in infinite times necessarily. So it's less about loneliness and more about, I think loneliness is kind of a loaded term, you know?
Yeah, that's another thing they talk about in the article, which is that loneliness could be. She says people experience different types of loneliness. There's a UCLA loneliness scale, the loneliness of emotional isolation, which is the absence of a close emotional
Right.
attachment. So that's kind of
Right.
like the classic sense.
That's what I'm saying. Like I have that. So I'm not like, to me, that's not what my loneliness manifests as.
And then the loneliness of social isolation, which is the absence of an engaging social network. You might have a deeply meaningful relationship with your spouse, for example, but still feel lonely for a lack of community and the longing for a social network. So,
So I think a lot of people have that second one. So
yeah.
then they can still have that and have a partner. But back to their question of, yeah, is this something you could, it's okay to want to go after this, to build this, because it's a great thing to have.
Well, by the way, they've got two close couple friends. Should we try to meld them?
Well, yeah, create. I mean, again, right? It's like, oh, I wish I had this thing. Go create it. Go build it. If you build it, people will come, right? We started our farmers market thing where it's just a bunch of families and it's on a text chain. We named it. We talk about this all the time on the pod. Ritualize the ritual, make it sticky. The
Yep.
goal is to make things sticky so it's part of people's identity. Like, I am part of your farmers market gang, and therefore I'm on this text. I'm not obligated to show up, but it's there for me.
Do you guys still go to farmers market when it's pouring, as it has a little bit recently?
No,
Yeah.
canceled on
Sometimes,
account of.
sometimes I wonder. Oh, they don't even do it.
No, I don't do it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it. Yeah. Yeah, 'cause sometimes when we're in the winter months here in LA and you get the crazy rain, and sometimes I'm like, God, are they still doing that?
Yeah.
Uh Farmers market. But also to your point, like put the crew together, you got to be the friend, right? That's the number one.
Yeah.
No one else is going to make your crew for you. You've got to be the one who puts it together, who names the group chat, who organizes it a little bit and start, get the momentum going.
Yes, and you need to know why you want this, right? Because we were talking about, hey, is it okay? Like, do you want this because it looks cool, right? What it has to serve a purpose that you're missing, right? We're just talking about the loneliness thing of like, if you and your husband don't feel you're missing anything per se, other than the idea of a friend group, you may not need it, right?
I mean, whenever I do like a big birthday party, I make sure to take a big group picture and post it so people will be jealous.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
do that. You definitely do that. And
Yeah.
then people are going, man, you're creating the loneliness epidemic with that picture.
I don't know if we talked about this for my 40th birthday. As Matt knows, I rented the largest party bus in Southern California, and we had 65 of us doing a pub crawl via bus through Los Angeles, and we stopped at a basically a mural in downtown LA and took a picture. I'm looking at it because our buddy JMC framed it
Yeah.
for me. And when people are over, they go, "Who are those? All your friends?" I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, I'm like, "Are
Right.
you still friends with all of them?" I'm like, "Yeah, some of them we've lost."
Yeah,
But
please. You're not friends with half today, 6 years later. Please.
well, it was pre-pandemic, so
Can I say
um,
this about what I think a friend group really most people have?
yeah,
I think most people have like two. If you're a couple, you probably have like two couple friends, a couple floaters, and like one of those being like a real true friend you can call on a regular basis.
yeah. But I
And
think
that's
that
fine. That's good. I'm saying that's good.
I think something, and I think we talk about this in our Audible original, the buddy system, was like, what if you and Jess have a couple friend, but the level of intimacy is different between girl, girl, and guy, guy.
Actually,
You must have.
somebody just asked me that at a party the other day. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. That's very normal. And you're not obligated to have that same level of closeness with the guy if she's close with the girl, That's
Right.
that's that's fine too, as long as it's not like a level of, hey, they're besties and we don't like each other. Then it's a problem.
I think excuse me. Does Jess just put plans on the calendar without consent?
Well, she has my consent. She has carte blanche.
Okay, well that's what I'm asking. Okay, interesting. So just if you look, and I forgot, do you have a Google Calendar or no?
Yes.
Okay, so you can just look at your Google Calendar and be like, oh, Sunday she planned brunch for us.
Yep. But usually, because we don't really talk during the week that much, usually I have to just usually like if something pops up and I'm like, hold on, I think I may have something, because she's obviously more diligent about it. And so I have to put the things in too, because sometimes we may have a conflict.
Well, Matt, the way your brain works, you're like, yeah, sometimes I have to put things in too. Yes, that's how a calendar works. It's a
I,
shared. It doesn't work if you don't do it.
yes.
Psychopath. But
Yeah. It
I'm
doesn't work as well because I don't put everything in that I have.
it's literally the whole point of the share.
No, I
I'm
do put it in. I'm just saying I don't
yeah.
put it in the same time bound fashion that Jess and people like you would like.
Well, let me ask. I'm forget about that. Like, if you know, Furman hits you up and like, can we do a brunch? You don't feel the need to like, what if Jess like wanted to take a day off or she's working out that day or
Yes, I always check with her.
okay, but that's not what I said. You said they just put stuff on the calendar without consent.
She does.
Okay. Okay, fine. Reverse it. She put something in the calendar. Oh, we're going out with the Smiths. And you're like, I don't want to do that.
She knows what I want.
God, I'm so
She's got carte blanche.
you tell me she never puts up forget about what if you just like, oh, she put something in the calendar for 2 weeks from now and you're like, oh,
Yeah, she can listen, and I can opt out though.
right. I mean, you guys have the kids excuse, so you could opt out of anything.
Yeah, this is very true.
Yeah.
This is very true. Let's get back to the listener question. Did we get down to brass tacks on what they need to hear?
Yeah, I think first of all, it's not a problem or unusual for you to feel FOMO for a gang. Uh, you have looks like you've got 4 friends already. I don't know if they know each other, so maybe that's a nascent gang.
Right. Name it.
Most,
Name
yeah,
it.
name it. Ritualize the ritual. Um, just keep in mind that 2/3 of people don't have gangs, so what you're seeing is not necessarily true. Um, but that a yearning for more community, like I see no downside to
Yeah.
trying to get strive for that.
Listen, here's the thing about these friend groups is they're a structure, right? They are, an artificial one that you've created, but structure is what, builds the consistency and helps make this thing thrive. So that's why we're like, hey, maybe structure your two couples into a group.
What about this? Because she says, I don't have a real friend group or community. I would argue those are potentially different things. Like community for me seems like neighborhood
Yes. There's a lot of ways to have community.
activities.
Yeah.
Um, so that may be something you could do that's a little bit easier without having to like literally make a friend.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. I think we gave a good answer to this. Okay, guys, that was asking for a friend. If you have a friendship question, send it to us on Instagram, and we will answer it on the show. All right, Matt. Let's wrap up on the friend group
What was
fallacy.
the, yeah, what were the three things? Did we cover the three things that she discussed?
It was that she's longing for a friend group, that most people don't have friend groups, and then the different, like, it's okay. You can be lonely if you still have friends.
Right. Well, we definitely talked about that.
Yeah.
And look, I get lonely because my desire for being around people is very high.
Your desire, I mean, we've talked about our friend Christina. I mean, she needs the social energy of other people 24/7.
Yeah. So I don't need it 24/7, but I need it a lot, but I also don't have the time or energy for it as much as I would like it. So that's where my disconnect comes in a little bit.
Well, I guess you're married with kids, so it would never happen. Like, I guess you never really have a day. I'll often have a day where I don't see anybody.
Right. I
And
used
maybe
to have
not
a
even
lot. When I was
yeah,
working in the house, I used to have a lot of days like that. And that's why I have the office to avoid that because I need to at least walk down Larchmont and say hi to people.
right. And you every time you walk down Larchmont, you see somebody that you know.
Pretty much every single day. Yeah.
You're a real man of the people.
It's a neighborhood. I mean, it's a community.
Do you ever walk around like your office and say hello to the other office mates?
I'm now friends with one of them. We just had lunch the other day.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very on brand for me. The secretary who runs the office, she's a singer. We're going to go see her play. So yeah.
Can we
And,
say
and,
something?
and, and the owner of the building was taking us out to his club for a holiday, but I was sick. He took Dan out to lunch. So yes,
His club?
Wilshire Country Club.
Oh, got it. Yeah. I mean, this is a conversation for another day, but there's all this, I feel like the private club scene in LA and in the country is like having this upheaval now. No, not
Upheaval?
country club. I'm talking about Soho House and all these
Oh,
new
you mean
things.
they're all disappearing? They're all falling apart.
But then like new ones are coming and
It's a shuffling of the deck a little bit for sure in terms of clubs, but we should do that as another episode.
yeah, I think we have talked. Well, I think maybe we talked about country clubs
Yeah,
as a real relatable
not
episode.
social clubs. Yeah, we didn't do a social club one.
Yeah, social
Um,
clubs.
yeah, so friend group fallacy. How do we put a bow on this that's helpful to our listeners?
Well, I think the same thing for the listener question. If you have, first of all, if you have individual friends and they are good friends, that first of all, consider yourself lucky. I mean, you're ahead of the
Yes,
game. 15% of American men have no friends, so you're doing
right.
pretty well. It's
That's right.
quite normal and to be expected to have FOMO for a big group, even though it's a little bit of a fallacy that everybody's doing it. They're not.
And it's only healthy if it's something you actually need that is missing in your overall social fitness. Do not, chase the Instagram moment, the K-Row photo of a big group because it's not real. He doesn't even know half those people.
um, but yeah, but I see nothing wrong. I mean, unless you're like dissing or leaving behind your existing friends, I don't see any problem with striving to create a friend group or putting. I think we've done an episode about worlds colliding, bringing different people together. One of our tips is always celebrate your birthday. Next time you have a birthday party, even if you're inviting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people who don't usually all hang out together, it's a good incubator. Oh, Matt. Okay, great. So that was our episode on friend group fallacy. Guys, let us know if how are you feeling about this? Like, do you feel like your friend groups are serving you? Are you looking to make a new friend group? Are you feeling lonely even though you have friends? Please let us know. Thank you for listening. Always remember, be good to yourself, be good to your friends. Love you, buddy. And he loves me too.